Boston, like Brent said, I'm Colton Wildman, Fire Chief of the Nation. I think I ran into some of you, if not most of you. Yeah, thank you to Brent and everybody letting us be here today and just have a little chat or a bit of a knowledge day, just for I guess the fire department and what goes on in the community. I'll have my guys introduce themselves. I'm also using this as a tool to evaluate some of them on their presentations, their instructing abilities, and also building on their knowledge and their skills themselves. So I think this is a perfect size audience for them. Hopefully not to be too nervous or just to work on some things. They will be able to look at me if they need to cue me in for anything that they don't know how to answer, or they kind of maybe just have the brain fog for. So if they do kind of look at me and then I step in, it's just like I said, working on their skills and kind of building their capacity as well. But we just want to chat really quickly about always being thankful and grateful for working for the community and our nation members here. A skill that we constantly try to improve ourselves on is the language. For the most part, our fire department, to me, we don't speak the language enough, nor do we practice it enough. And I think that's something that we want to lead into this new year, and something we all want to start building on and be better on. Growing up, speaking for myself and maybe my brother here, he'll introduce himself later, we lost our language and we went to school in Cochrane. We were taught that we couldn't speak Stoney. It kind of, our parents, that's one of the things my mom and my dad really regret kind of growing up, was letting them almost take that from us, because we weren't allowed to. We got in trouble every time we spoke it at school, or we had to wait for the bus, and then and over time it improved our English skills, but our speaking, we lost it over time. So I've been working out here for 8 years now, slowly trying to reconnect, find the language again, and go through that process. My wife used to work here actually as one of the nurses, and now she's at the elementary as a kindergarten teacher. So we're trying to bring up our daughter, who's 4 years old, with the language as well, and hopefully not kind of try to break that cycle of us having to lose it, her having to lose it. So, but with all that, if you guys have any questions for me specifically, at any time, just let us know or let me know. I'm glad to answer. But I'll have our guys introduce themselves one by one and kind of get into their topics.
I'm Tristan, firefighter department.
Maybe a little bit about yourself, Tristan?
Firefighter, going on 5 years now. It's tough work. It's a little stressful at times, but it's fun. I get to hang with my crew here every day. Yeah. But as you know, I'm a little nervous. I don't present as much. I find myself shy, I guess. But you're gonna find me looking at my phone a lot, as I have it all right now. So your ERPs, your emergency response procedure, I'm sure you guys have it. Friend would have it all set up, and yeah. So, like your designated routes, closing the doors when the alarm sounds. Don't delay when the alarm sounds. Stop your work, and yeah. Bring your list for your roll call when you guys all meet at the muster point. So you have a head count, patients, all the workers that are supposed to be here today. Make sure all routes and exits are clear and accessible for egress. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys all know where your muster point is. There, just out that way by the big bus. And then, do you guys know how to use fire extinguishers if needed? Yeah? Okay, well, it's just the pass system, the pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. And, yeah. Do you guys know there is 5 types of classes of fire extinguishers?
No.
No? Well, there's class A, which is all your daily uses, paper, wood, combustible stuff like that, tables. And there's class B, which is your gases, your propanes, all that. And class C is the electrical. Class D is metals. So, you know, you just have a little pile of metal shavings on the ground there and starts lighting up on fire. Class D fire extinguisher. And your class K is your greases and oils.
Which one do we have here?
The Senate.
Let's see it. Can't see it. A, B, and C, so it's multi-purpose, as I was just about to touch on. Yep.
Yeah, so the one we have here is Class C, which is like the gentleman said, multi-purpose, except for the IT office. Because it's a foam with particles and all that stuff, the IT space with the computers and all that uses a extinguisher that sucks out all the oxygen in the air. So we've been trained on how to use that specific extinguisher in that room because it is totally different from the Type C ones that we use in all of our locations.
Okay.
Cool. And I'm sure you guys see it around. There's a lot of fire doors here, which will prevent a fire from spreading from room to room. And when the alarm goes off, it's very crucial to close those doors. So gives us less fun to work with, I guess. Your sprinkler systems, I'm not seeing.
So just wanted to touch really quickly on the fire door thing, or any door in general, just because we say the term fire door doesn't mean it has to be these big heavy metal ones, or you'll see the ones with the glass inlets. Any door in particular, or it doesn't matter the make of it or the construction of it, always get in the habit of shutting your door. There's been so many studies over the past years of the amount of oxygen just always introducing itself into the atmosphere when a fire is occurring, and how quickly that fire is able to spread. Nowadays, all of our materials here, everything is all oil-based. It's not like the old school, you know, the good, hardy, heavy woods, natural woods, or materials that were less compounded with oil or plastics and things like that. So when we get in the habit of always closing our doors, it gives us a lot more time, especially on the reserve here. There's no code that our home builders, our contractors out here have to abide by that specifically let that protect, I guess, as much as it does out in the cities or in the towns. Now that's a law that's been in for years. It's been a law that's been people have been trying to fight for a lot of years to keep contractors up to the same standard. So basically, they take all the cheapest material that they can gather or find, or that's either outdated and they just slap them together in a lot of our homes out here, and that's what's used to construct the homes. And then not only just on the door fact is the electrical as well. There's a lot of electricity it's always overloaded. You know, probably 60% of our calls are all due from overloaded breaker systems or overcapacity electrical plugins. So nowadays everything runs on electricity. How many devices do we have from, you know, the phones, whether it's ours, our kids, or video games, TVs, everything. Nothing, even though our technology has evolved, our home building out here hasn't, and they're not designed to hold this much electrical capacity. So mind you, that's how easy it is, or how easy it can be for fires to occur. So closing the doors on things, just less oxygen, gives us more time to actually go in there and actually save the house, compared to just letting it burn and losing all our belongings and having to rehouse a home, or rehome a family.
Okay, we'll get into fire drills, as I believe we did one last week. Yeah, that, you know, it's helpful. It reduces hesitation. You know, someone calls a code red, you know, like what do I do? Like as a staff member, I gotta go help, prepare to evacuate, see what's going on, and yeah, it helps with the weaknesses in the procedure, the planning, you know, all the staff members that won't necessarily know what to do in case it happens. And just collaborating with us as a fire crew or EMS, the police department in what's happening, where the fire is, if anyone's inside, you know, stuff we need to know so we can do our job efficiently.
So for the most part out here, especially at the new building here, it's been great. I really appreciate Brent and the amount of work that he's done over the years to have our department involved. Not only that, to have his staff always kind of on the ball with these things and these practices. There are times like when the construction happened, we did have a fire, I believe it was in the optometry room, or we did have a fire that happened. And for the most part, nobody left the building. There was a bit of a delay, but that's going to happen because the construction workers have their own plans too. And they were just, well, let's try to put it out and keep going on as business as usual, which is kind of what happened. But those are those little brain fogs. It's just like, okay, it's still a fire in the building. It's not just because the fire is out. In a lot of places, especially the construction like this, if a flame goes up under these panels, it can travel far, it can travel quick, and there's a lot of stored gases and oxygen that can be stored that we won't even see or smell that could be stored up there. So when those happen and it's a fire, we should all have been evacuated. We rolled up here. Everyone was still working. Everyone was still kind of inside. There was not really much of a. So it's one of those things that Brent and I talked about, and we kind of trying to make sure. It was a bit of a confusing time with the construction going on, but I think we're going to be on our toes with it now and just be a little bit more stern on it. This is the procedure. Let's get going. Let's keep working on it.
Kitchen fire safety. So cooking is a leading home fire cause. So like leaving your frying pan, your grilling and stuff like that unattended, it happens really fast. It'll spread fast. Grease fires, don't use water. Try to smother it. Wet towel, wet blanket, metal lid. Yeah. You know, I doubt anyone has a fire extinguisher at home. Brent, okay, so but I know the rest here. As the extinguisher out and about. But electrical fires, you know, don't overload your outlets. You know, you're getting sorry, I'm fogging. The extension with the like 10 outlets on there. You're putting everything on there. Your lamps, your TVs, your phone charger. You know, make sure it could withstand all that energy coming through, because that'll happen quick as well. You know, no cords under rugs, furniture. It'll heat up. Yeah. Okay. Space heaters, candles, you know, keep it away from bedding, furniture, anything that can ignite. Yeah.
What we're starting to find with that, with those kind of things, are the heating blankets. Nowadays, everybody has heating blankets in their homes. We didn't really find them over the past few years, but even in Calgary, a lot of studies are starting to come out on the brands, what caught it. It's a quick Google search on, hey, is this one safe? Is this one known to catch on fire? Some of them, the regulators aren't that great on self-shutting off. Some of them you manually have to shut them off. So when people come home, especially if they have like the fake leather kind of couch, they come home and they see that it's been seared or melted. Well, it's because that thing hasn't shut off. So heating blankets are a new thing that we're starting to kind of deal with. So if you have them in your home, not saying they're totally bad, just be aware of when they're plugged in, or get in the habit of always unplugging them.
Escape planning. So have a plan in your home. It's for every scenario of where a fire could be: a basement, upstairs, your main floor. Have 2 exits in every room that you could possibly be in, whether it's a window, a door. And, a meeting place with your family. Practice these routes, these scenarios in case it happens. And I'm getting into smoke alarms for sure.
No, that's somebody else. Yeah, that's pretty well. That's good for Tristan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Krista. Krista started saying something that I'd like to really point out. Fire extinguishers at home. Everybody should have a fire extinguisher at home. I know it's not something that you want to buy. My partner and I actually bought one for our anniversary present to each other, because after year 13, 14, what do you buy each other, right? So we actually bought each other fire extinguishers. We have one in the basement and one in the garage. They're $35, $40 each. They've got a shelf life of 10 years, sort of thing, depending. You should have fire extinguishers at home.
And if you have old fire extinguishers, just bring them to the nearest fire department, or even to us. We find ways on just getting them recycled, sending them back out or taking them to Rona. Canadian Tire, I believe, does it too. Home Depot. They'll find a way that they can get them recycled or retested and repurposed. So I know a lot of people who kind of like, well, wait, I have a few of them stacked in my garage and they're all outdated. Will they still work? If you keep up on the maintenance of them, which is, can you grab it, Colin? Always making sure that it's in working order, and then just from time to time, always checking your gauges on here, and then once I like to say 3 months, but maybe even once a year, once every 6 months, hold it upside down for 45 seconds to a minute. Holding upside down, all that solution that the extinguishing agent is heavier than the water that's used in here and pressurized, so it goes to sink at the bottom. So when you actually go to pull the pin and squeeze, sometimes you'll just get a little stream of water and it's like, well, why isn't this working? People will just chuck it because it's not working. It's just because of that solution, especially in our homes out here where the ventilation system isn't all that great. Even though that these are canister, the ventilation and humidity is still and temperature is still important to these things. So just making sure that it's always, shake it up. Don't necessarily shake it, but let that solution at the bottom mix up back with the water, and then just rehang it and it's ready to go again. We're gonna get into Zach. You want to go ahead? Get into his presentation. Zach is one of our lieutenants here at the department. He can introduce himself and kind of his portfolio. He's also our first aid instructor, one of the two, I believe, Nation members now that are trained to teach first aid in the BLS. So I mean, he's been with us. So I'll let him explain it. But he's gonna get into our carbon monoxide and smoke detectors, which you, even with home care, might run into a lot of homes where you just hear the single beep thing, and they're always constantly asking, what does that mean, or the multi-beep. He'll kind of cover that stuff.
Yeah, so just like Colt said, my name's Zach Wildman. I'm his younger brother. I've been with the department now, 6 years, boys? So we've been here a little bit longer. Like he said, I'm also a first aid instructor, one of the two on the nation. I've done over 200 kids first aid at the high school. I've also done Eagle's Nest. I've done all our firefighters. For our training for our first aid, I work with Red Cross. So if you guys need your first aids, I'm here. But like Tristan said, he kind of talked about, our egress routes, emergencies, where to go, muster points. I am going to talk about one of our calls that we always get on the nation: fire detectors, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. So saying that, I'm sorry, I just have my iPad here. I wasn't going to connect here, but there are various detectors. They are usually all white. Some have batteries, some have they connect to, I guess, to the homes. They're wire connected. So was saying that, like, so my question and answer, what could you guys tell me about these smoke detectors? What can you guys tell me? What do they do? Exactly, right? There you go. You get a point. Like I said again, they are usually white in color. One of the big questions, like I said, one of the big questions we always get is it's still beeping. Why is it still beeping? I changed the batteries out. Can you come take a look at it? Or with that, what's annoying beeping? You change the battery, still beeping. Those are the most questions asked. So I'm gonna go through the steps on what to do, and it might sound silly on how these actually and why they still do it, but smoke detectors are placed in the high areas of the homes, of everybody's homes. Now, on the nation, they are putting them in every single room, which is awesome. They're putting them in the hallways. They're putting them in where we're cooking and also in our mechanical rooms. Some of them, like I said before, some of them have the connection, and then some are battery powered, what we have here in front of us. So, sorry?
Or the plug-in ones we have batteries.
These are the battery ones, yeah.
So the plug-in ones, the ones that are hardwired to plug into the house, also need batteries as well. Because what happens if your house, the power goes out in your house? It needs to run on some sort of electricity. So if people will always say, well, it's already hard plugged in, I don't need batteries, it's plugged in. Well, it'll still make a noise because of
what I will show you and how it works. So saying that, what we're gonna look for on our detectors are, like Fire Chief said, there is an expiry date on them. Also, you guys gotta change them out change the batteries. The battery powered ones, they will have the two sources of energy. Make sure that we are changing the batteries once a year in all our detectors. Costs a couple bucks just to make sure you guys are safe. Also with the carbon monoxide, it helps. Carbon monoxide is a silent killer, right? So we've always got to make sure that we have working detectors for that. So making sure that we're changing them once a year, and if the smoke detector is expired, we got to make sure we get new ones. On the nation, if you guys don't feel comfortable replacing them, we don't have them, but if you guys buy them, we will come and install them. They'll just come in the kits with the battery packs. I'll do the demonstration, or I can even get, if you'd like to be my helper, someone, and maybe we'll get you I'll show you how they work. You can get them at Home Depot. Not looking at you, front row. And they'll just show you. I will be there to help you. We'll make sure nothing goes wrong. You can get them at Home Depot.
Okay, if you want to explain it.
I will explain it to you now.
I asked her last week, I seen her at the gas station. Hey, she's checking her oil. Do you need help? She's like, believe it or not, I used to work on vehicles my whole life. She's like, I'm good, I don't need any help.
I told him, would you believe it? I used to change motors. I did an oil change.
There you go. So this is a lot. So it's a lot easier to, making sure that we're safe, our kids are safe, making sure that these things our smoke detectors are working, they're not expired. Other thing I wanted to talk about on how do you know if they are expired? So on the side of all the detectors, it will tell you right on them, it will say, replace in 2025 for this one. So it will say that on there. If the sticker gets removed, there's also instructions in the back of all of these detectors. Sorry, it's upside down. So this one was made in 2025 of February. 2015 of February. So it's telling us 10 years later, we got to replace it with the sticker that's on it right here. And it also tells us in the manual when to change it every 10 years and making sure that we have the right batteries for it. So with that being said, we are going to put some batteries in it. Okay, we can get this camera close. Your detector is beeping at home. We want it, we're gonna come in and you don't know what's going on. You take it off, you see we can still use it. There's your date, right? So that's where you're gonna put the batteries in. Can you place the 2 batteries inside of it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I put them in the right way?
Yeah, that's the right way, and then
And this one?
that one goes in that way.
Okay.
Correct.
Hey, Chidney. You're supposed to say, huh?
Ah, you did that one wrong. So, telling us to push the test button to make sure that it works. We put the batteries in, and we're gonna test the button. It's gonna get a little loud, so we're gonna test it. Just put your finger over it. No, that's good. So we got the testing. So it's testing now. It tells you there's a fire. Then it's gonna beep. Then
Warning, carbon monoxide.
carbon monoxide. Testing complete. There's a little green line up here that's gonna tell you that it's good to go. You can't really see it, but it's on there. That's how we're checking so that's how we're replacing the batteries for these, okay? Next step is, it keeps beeping, it's doing that annoying beeping. What a lot of people don't understand with these is, I'm going to take the batteries out, if I can, or if I can't smash it open because that really wrecks it on the presentation.
So a little fact right now, in 2015, the nation got I think 2014, 2013, 2015, the nation got a bunch of homes, whether they were stick builts or they were mobile homes, trailers that were all given. So now that it's been that 10-year mark, we're going to be running into this over the next year. We're going to be constantly having to either replace or exchange a bunch of, or you're going to hear anybody on the nation, people in home care visit the homes and they notice that that's constantly beeping or just getting annoying. It's at that 10-year life rank where it needs to start getting replaced.
So that was the beep that we're waiting for. That took a little time, so we're gonna have to do the steps again. But Grandma changed the batteries on her smoke detectors. That beep, we took the batteries out, and she said, I replaced the batteries and it's still beeping. What happens is these detectors have an energy source that holds a charge from the battery. It's inside that if the batteries were to die or if the electrical malfunction, it's just like a secondary a battery charge for our detectors. So what happens is you got to drain these. So you got to hold the button. That noise that was earlier, so I can do the steps again. But you hold the button, then it drains the whole system. Once you drain the whole system, then you put your new batteries in. So I'll try to do it again. And that's where everybody's getting stuck when they don't do their alarm. So we're gonna do it again. So we're gonna hold the test button. Doing it again. It's gonna beep at us. Hopefully. On it.
How long do you hold it to drain it?
So you just hold it for 3 seconds, so you're 5 seconds. So that's our alarm. It's doing our test system again, like we did before. Then carbon monoxide. It'll tell you either or because there's 2 sniffers in the detectors, right? So one's gonna do smoke and one's gonna do the carbon monoxide, and that's what they have in these detectors. So with that, we're gonna take out the batteries. I'm gonna rip my nail from doing this. So we take out the batteries. Then you're gonna see no batteries, nothing in it, and there's gonna be a charge in here. It still has that. We gotta make sure that we're draining that before. And then now we can put in our new batteries, place them in, and then we're good to go.
Sorry.
That's okay. Any questions on that? No?
So
Understand.
you just hold it for.
3-4 seconds. You'll hear that second beep once all the batteries are out. So it's just a second.
After
beep.
that?
And it won't beep after that. Now this is completely dead. Now I can add my new batteries into it. Now I can add my new batteries into it, place it in. It's gonna do the whole test system, and then we'll plug it back in, either the wired or these battery packs. Once, but
Okay.
they always hold that secondary charge, and that's what everybody's forgetting to do. Does that make sense? Yeah.
If it needs to be replaced, like it's past the date, will they still work? I don't know.
They will work. We just don't recommend it because they give it a life range for a reason, is because the indicator or the sniffer that detects it will wear over time. It will work, and it's been proven to work for years after. It's just, it's not quite the same. It won't have the same sensitivity that it needs to be in a protection form.
Oh, how often do you get these calls to replace the?
So like
battery?
Chief said,
Yeah.
we have we're at that 10-year mark with everybody on the homes from 2014, 2013. They all got those, like you're saying, the new homes, the new detectors in these homes. So now we'll probably get about 3-4 times a day that everyone's calling in. And a thing that's kind of hard is that we don't supply them. So you guys gotta go out and buy them, but we will make sure that we'll come in and place them where they need to go.
Like I've written grants. I've gotten a grant in the past before, and they supplied 600, I believe, devices, reader devices. And when that stuff delivered, it basically disappeared. Do not know where it went. It got sent to the STA because that's our mailing address from the grant. And once that was taken, we just don't know where it was delivered or if it had been delivered. So there are grants for them, and you're only allowed to write them or apply for them every so often. But because we've gotten so many before and we didn't do anything with them, I have to wait till my time's up to write another one again and apply for it. But yeah, I get calls at 2-3 in the morning sometimes from people just driving them absolutely mad, saying my smoke detector won't stop, and I like get up thinking, okay, there's something going on, and they're like, I'm like, can I listen to the beep? They'll put it on speaker, and it's like every 30 seconds you hear a single beep. Oh, that's your battery. No, we changed the batteries. Then I'll try to walk them through the steps of that, or I'll say, you're just gonna have to hang in there till tomorrow morning. I'll get our guys to come in and come and check them or drain them for you and take a look at it. But yeah, we do get those a lot. Every day we're getting people asking, calling the fire hall, calling my work number or my personal number all the time, trying to get those looked after.
My husband literally just disconnected our one fire alarm, our smoke detector, because it wouldn't stop beeping after he changed the battery.
So does that make sense?
I just messaged him. I was like, I'll figure it out. I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll look at it when I get home.
Trailer. Do you remember I was calling you being like, Brent, this stupid alarm won't stop going off? It happened after we moved into the trailer to live here.
Yeah.
And it now I know what to do. Because
Yeah.
I just go push the test.
Just go
I'm
touch
like,
it.
I know the battery's changed.
Yeah, so once the batteries change, just making sure that we're draining that secondary. And then once we get the new batteries in, that new battery is going to reset everything for you.
Perfect.
So just making sure that, and just making sure that our expiry dates are good. Kind of my final thing of just talking about this, for the nation members and everybody, we are handing out alarm cards now to these the calls that we've been going to. So everybody in the house knows what alarm number they're at. If you're at a friend's house, you'll know if there's an emergency, you guys know what the alarm number is and what the road name is. You guys see all the new green signs out on the roads. All the roads on the nation have been installed by us and the alarm numbers. We know all the locations for everybody, but this is for people that live on the nation. This will be, we tell everybody to put this on your fridge. So if something were to happen, you're at a friend's house, you're with grandma, and something were to happen, just making sure that everybody knows that the alarm number is here and what road and what you guys are calling 911. Does that make sense? So we have been handing this out of the nation. We brought a stack for you guys if you guys go to home visits and whatnot. So.
I take some for the guys to see.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, we'll just leave them up here. But other than that, that's kind of my presentation on smoke detectors.
So just speaking on that one too, really quick, we try to encourage, especially as I know it's really no one in here, but nation members, avoid swapping appliances or taking them out of homes, because sometimes when that happens way too often, we've had a few times where, you know, at a life safety thing is they'll be reading what their alarm sticker said on their fridge, but they took the fridge from their cousin who lived on, you know, up on Dixon Hill when the call was way up by Broken Leg Lake. So like two different locations on the nation, very different, very tough to get to, and they're reading this alarm number when we're responding over here. So Zach was part of doing and part of the team with the GIS mapping on all of the stuff that's all the alarm numbers that are on the homes, ordering all the alarm numbers. So he really took that responsibility on with Jana, our EMS manager, on doing. It's still not 100% completed. We did them for all three nations. That's Eden Valley and Bighorn as well. So it has gotten cleaner with where it is, because we have actual physical addresses with their alarm numbers posted on the homes that we've done. There are a number of nation members who do not like their location of it, or just don't like it at all. They take it off, or some of the road signs were ran over and, you know, shot up or spray painted on. We knew that stuff was going to happen, but for the most part, now that we know the difference on location and areas, it really does help our response time.
I have a couple of questions. You talked about language earlier, so out of the 5 guys, who is full Stony? I know you guys, you're half speak.
Trying.
I'm not being bad, but do they in this copy just them?
Just traveling.
Oh.
Yeah. And
So if you guys went out to a Stony speaking home and he's not around, how? But most of us know English, eh?
But there are some, there's some that won't speak. If there's a Stony present, they won't speak anything other than Stony. I learned that the hard way. Elder years ago, he's no longer with us, but because that there was a nation member, a Stony present, he would not speak English to anybody, and I had to try to interpret. So I had to try to call my dad and try to say, hey, you know, like, I need to put you on speaker and I need you to talk. And it was hard, but we kind of got. And then as soon as I left, once we got him in the ambulance and he left, he started speaking English to the other non-nation members out there, and you know it. But it was a kick in the butt to me to, hey, I got to figure this out. I got to try to get reconnected back from like. Japheth has been working on his understanding. Tristan, same thing. I know his mom speaks Stony to him all the time. Me too, trying to figure it out, trying to reconnect. I can understand a fair amount of it. Speaking, I sound a little funny, but I know that will come over the years. So.
And what kind of fire prevention programs we have in place, especially for homes as old as mine? It was built in 1980.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Doesn't have. There's a smoke alarm upstairs, but no carbon monoxide or anything. Just one downstairs as well. So now I'm thinking where my alarm should go in that house, because we had an incident at my late dad's log house a week ago for carbon monoxide alarm. We didn't know that they expired, and I guess it wasn't expired. I'm lucky I bought some earlier, and I gave it to my son because it kept beeping, and he was getting really frustrated and kind of panicking about it. And I told him, here, go try the new ones, maybe they'll shut that other one up. So he went and installed those, and they went off, but that was something new to us. We hadn't known that they could expire until he found out that it was a carbon monoxide beep, but
Yeah.
I guess it had its own expiry date as well.
Yeah. So what we do, and Japheth will talk to this on his part on the outdoor side of things. I know we're getting close for time here, but for the indoors, for elders' homes especially, what we do is we will go in and we'll install it. If they can't afford or go into town to even just buy one, I buy them myself for them, and I just tell the guys, hey, go put this in at this alarm number. We try not to tell that to, we just try to tell that to the elders, because when all of a sudden they'll say, oh, well, this is my grandma's house, oh, this is my grandpa's house, and you know, I start getting people trying to say that I had to buy them their thing because our department won't cover it. So I'll just buy it myself, and then I'll just, you know, the guys will go in and put them in. So anytime that anything indoors that you need, and especially at an elder's home, we'll come and do it for you guys. And we'll kind of give you a step process on, you know, the easy part of either maintenance or what happens if there is a fire, how could we just get out and where to go. We'll help you with those plans. For the outdoor, sorry?
So I was just gonna think, for our team, like if we're going out, we do a lot of home visits with elders, or we go and check on people and stuff. So if we're going to the home, I just message my team, ask them to start checking the fire. Are the smoke detectors, especially 'cause you said a lot of them may be expiring this year. So can we place calls to you guys?
Yeah,
Letting you
yeah,
know
of
which
course.
people need to have them
Yep. Yep.
replaced, and if they can't get to them, then we can work through them.
Of course, yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine. But Japheth will kind of get into his introduction and talk to his part. Japheth we're really fortunate to have him. He was, I guess still kind of is with the forestry protection stuff, the wildland firefighting. He was a heli attack crew leader for many years. A lot of knowledge and training. This is something else that I'm trying to bring out of his comfort zone, because he's so knowledgeable. I'm just trying to get him to be able to talk in public and be a instructor or a teacher, because he has way too much experience and knowledge to just keep into himself. So yeah, he'll kind of touch on the forestry aspect of things and what we can do for fire smiting around outside of our home.
Hello, name's Japheth Wildman. Been with the department for about coming up 6 years now. But yeah, been doing wildland fire for almost about a decade now, I believe. So, anyways, yeah. Been a crew leader, done all that. I've been all over Alberta fighting fires. I even went to BC to help fight fires over there. I got recommended to go to Australia, but I would never go there because I'm terrified of spiders. Like, so bad for it. So I turned that down.
He's not kidding.
Yeah, wait.
It's really the koalas that'll get you.
But we'll be talking about fire smart prevention, everything around your homes. What can you do and how can you do to prevent it? I have it right here on my phone. I was gonna pull it up, but I don't think I can shake it off. I'll take it off, but yeah. So how to fire smart around your home? What you want to do, honestly, is just clean around your area. Make sure there's no like loose debris, any wood around your area, like around the house especially. So it's like mainly always around the deck area, the yard area. What's mostly flammable out here in our areas is the trees. The coniferous are like our pine. The deciduous are our poplar trees, sorry. So what you want to do is like with the coniferous trees, we call those M2 in wildland. But with those, what you want to do is you want to spread them out 3 meters, and if you guys can't, you know, you can always call us, and we can always do the job for you too as well. I even lead on the projects too as well. I was doing a project off in Cochrane area for a bit, so it has to be pushed back a little bit. But what we did out there was that we went into their vegetational forest area around that hillside along the Bow River. We opened up that area like pretty well for about 3 meters, so that's about 9 feet in crowning space. So that was what that does is that it just helps, like just spread it around, like so the fire has nowhere to go, no ladder fields. That ladder fields are like the branches that hang low. So what we do with that is that we just skirt it up to like 6 feet with a chainsaw, and what we can do all around. And then after you do that, you're basically like, you just want to just go around your house, check your gutters. If there's any leaves in your gutters, just clean it out. So porch area. Any propane too as well. If you have it close to your house, just put it somewhere in an open area, in the shaded area, that it's not going to cause any problems if a wildfire is to sweep through. Or if you're having a barbecue, just make sure that it's in an open area, dry, not in a dry area, but an area of play. Just cut grass, cured grass, pretty much. Like you want cured grass up to 100%. That's the green stuff. And if it's like brownish a bit, that's about what we said, about 50, 60%. About 60% we say it's cured. And then.
So our project out in Cochrane, we've been, the town of Cochrane was applied for a project through it's a FREA grant to fire smart around their heavily vegetated or heavily forested areas in Cochrane. They received it. The Cochrane Fire Department was given the contract to actually fire smart for it. They couldn't staff it. They didn't have the manpower to do so. So they reached out to me, and I had a guy in my back pocket to say, yes, I have a guy to do it. We'll charge this. And that's another, way of kind of generating some revenue through the fire department through our other projects. So Japheth went in and he kind of handled everything on working with them. Just kind of broadening our scope here on the nation, because we do it. We have done it over the past 4 years up in Rabbit Lake, on the northern side of the reserve, Dixon Hill area, all our heavily wooded areas, just kind of getting if all the recreational drivers, all it's campfire season, right? All those things, if something was to happen, we fire smart in order to, the fire's still gonna start, but we're trying to minimize it or have a strategic way to that fire wanting to go our direction and to protect it a certain way, or for us to respond to it a certain way. So Japheth done a really good job working with the town of Cochrane and the fire chief, the fire department out there, and they're so happy with the work. We received a ton of backlash from the town of Cochrane and a couple lawsuits in the works, but it's all just for the protection of their communities. So we would love to keep doing it out here. However, it does cost quite a bit of money to do it. So I constantly apply for grants for it, and we do get them. We've done them also out in Bighorn, and we've done them in Eden Valley as well. So trying to keep all the communities involved, but yeah, it's fire season right now, and anything that we can do to either mitigate the fire or help our strategies, that if anybody, the homeowners or community members can do those things to help us, all the better and all the appreciated.
Yeah, as he would say, yeah, like that's what we mainly like to do for, just to help mitigate fires and everything. And then, so for your homes and everything, there's like a Fire Smart app. It's called the Fire Smart. There's one for BC. Don't get that one because you're spending forever trying to clean your woods. But anyways. Just get the Fire Smart Canada, and then what it does, it gives you a latitude and longitude of your area where you are. It can just show you your area of what you're dealing with pretty much in there, like how heavy your field dense is, how clear it can be in the future. So what it teaches you about your zone perimeter. So like a home yard should be about 10 meters. Like there should be a fire resistance free of all materials that could easily ignite from a wildfire. That's pretty much just around your area. Like what you want to do is get rid of all the propane, anything like those woods around the houses, around the deck. As soon as those are clean, and then after that there's a zone 2 that you just follow up with it. And what it does is that it's just you're thinning, and then you're pruning the coniferous trees and all of that, regularly cleaning your branches, dry grass, and everything. And then for zone 3, this is where is where I like to really come in with to do the work with it. It's where we're following trees, like all the spacing and everything. And then like you're just looking at like what I was saying is like 3 meters apart for the crown. So that's basically not wanting your branches to cross over. So what I do with that is that I look for the biggest one with the biggest branches, and then one with the smallest branches. If it's crossing over to the bigger one, I'll always follow the smaller ones. And I'll always leave it open. And then after that, once we're done that, I just got a measuring tape. I'll go around, see if my perimeter is just done as it should be. And if it's all correct, I'll note it, I'll report it, I'll transfer it to my chief, he'll transfer it to their chief that we're completed our area. And everything. Any questions?
I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
It's unrelated to what you were talking. I was just wondering, how many do you have in your team?
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that.
Combination.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that at the end there. We have a roster of 15 people. These are all our full-time guys. So how it's kind of divided up, 2 of them are on A shift, 2 of them are on B shift. They work 4 days on, 4 days off, and it's just alternating amongst the 4. The rest are all casual, paid on call or volunteer firefighters. We try to steer away from that volunteer word because they are paid on call. They all do get adequate training. All these guys are level 2 NFPA training certified, which is recognized throughout the world. It's an international seal that these guys are trained up to. Some of us kind of specialize in different areas like J5th with the wildland and forestry kind of stuff. So we do have a good amount of training, and then all of our casuals as well, we keep them to a standard. The lowest they have for training is just the fire fundamental training that a provincial entity recognizes out here. So everybody out on our roster is capable and the thing what we get out here opposed to other nations are we have the call volume. So we see 2,400 calls a year, opposed to our nearest that's closest to us is probably Cochrane, and we're a service that only works from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. From 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., all of that is pretty much on call. If there's a fire out, we have to either respond or we're just not manned at the station during that, or we rely heavily on our mutual aid entities, which are MD of Bighorn, Exshaw, Jameson Road, and Cochrane, Kananaskis sometimes. We do have mutual aid agreements with them to protect our nation on the after hours. We're just kind of in that gray area until leadership gives us the direction of going 24 hours, which we are more capable of doing now that we kind of have a livable hall situation. So we're also in the works of working with the feds to get a new fire hall and EMS hall built. Where we did receive funding to go through the surveying and planning portion of it, which is a good sign because they won't spend $300,000 with us planning it without giving us the okay for the build. So we haven't gotten to that area yet, but we're being pretty optimistic on it. But yeah, we have 15-ish guys. I'm still trying to open it up and try to find ways to include more nation members. Yeah.
So what's your recruitment like? Or do you guys do recruiting just so we can pass the info on to members that we're working
Of
with?
course, yeah. So anytime the postings will always be posted on the job resource out here or on the STA will always share the posting. Anybody that is willing to that send me emails of their resumes, cover letters, and anytime we have openings and I want to say hire 4 or 5 casual firefighters, I'll automatically put those ones through interview process because they were keen on sending me a resume.
Do they have to have any experience?
No, they don't have to. We do really hope or really recommend that they have a valid driver's license and a clean driver's abstract, and they have to pass a criminal check as well. But other than that, with any of the fire stuff, we either in-house or we outsource it. I have my instructors certs as well, so I can instruct up to a certain a certain amount. Other than that, like these guys sent them all over. They went, I think most of them went to Wetaskiwin to get their training done for a few months. So yeah, we're always open to having people. We just want to flood our department with community members. We do kind of follow a structure though of community members get priority first, and then First Nation members second, and then, well, I guess I should say, because we do have First Nation members who aren't necessarily from here, but they live here. They have families out here, so they kind of fall in that area of Nation members first, community members second, and then we kind of open it up to First Nations elsewhere, and then if nobody applies for it, then I'm allowed to open it up to non-nation members or non-Indigenous members.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I guess for like nature fires, have you ever had a call where someone like tried to do one of those controlled grass fires that got out of control?
Yeah. I mean, we have those every year. We have it a few times a year. A lot of it just kind of goes down to ego of the person, because everyone's an expert until they need experts. There's a lot of people who say, "Oh, I've done this for you. I'm going to burn my garbage." I'm like, "Okay, well, do you need us to come help prep? Do you need us on standby?" And most of the times, we're like, "No, I've been doing this for years." And sure enough, we get we'll get a call to that house or to that area. So yes, it does happen quite a bit. There's nothing wrong with these guys. Need something to fill out their days half the time. So I'm not saying that they don't do enough, but I love them going to engage in the community, go to a house. We always constantly have sweats, ceremonial stuff. Even during, we have provincial fire bans. We don't stop any of our nation members from doing any cultural burns or sweats or fires. We don't do that. We just go, we'll help them. Now I always have family members or people who lead sweats who call me, text me and say, "Hey, I'm going to have a sweat. Can you guys, just to let you know, it's at this house. Can you guys come check it out if the area is safe for us or where we can make it work?" That's no problem with us going to do that to help mitigate that.
Going back to carbon monoxide, I found out, when the flood came, when they redid the homes, they put in a lot of pipes coming out. I found out when those pipes are blocked or with ice or whatever, carbon monoxide can go back into the home, right?
Back in, yeah.
That's another thing I found out recently. Like education like that should be
Taught. Yeah.
like the community members should be aware of little things like that. So maybe the panic calls will stop if they have that education of what to expect. Like I've lived in my home that many years, and they did that in 2014, and I just recently found out that can happen.
Yeah. Okay.
And the monoxide detectors and smoke, like my home was. It would be nice to know where I can put them. Do I place them by my furnace?
Yeah.
Do I place them over here or over there? Like.
Okay, we can put something together and
Yeah.
give you my
It'd be
number.
nice to know.
We can come do it for you and teach you a little bit.
Or put up a community
That's what I mean.
information
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Because I'll take your questions and make
Talk
something.
to Jeanette's thing. I know you guys have seen the stuff with EMS that we've been posting, the EMS questions and stuff, and I know we met about a year ago on this. You guys have any interest in doing that? Because we have a list of questions community members have kind of put into us about different fire safety, wildlife safety, or like fire safety, how to use a fire extinguisher, what to check, like what Zach did with the smoke detectors. Like if we could get that on video in English and in Stony, like we'll put it out on our TikToks. Like we have the Ask the EMS right now. We'd love to do Ask the Fire.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I came today was to get some more questions.
No, exactly.
But if you guys are willing to, like we have the equipment, we're ready, we have the time to do it, and we'll help you put it out to the community. So
Yeah, no, 100%. So when we spoke about it, I did have a member that was super keen on doing
yeah,
it. She is things have kind of changed in her situation.
okay.
Until then, I didn't really open it up to the other guys because
Yeah.
they weren't very keen on it. I hate being on camera.
I hate being on camera too, so I completely
Yeah.
understand. But if you just talked the way that
Exactly.
Zach just did and
Yeah.
the way that Dave did, and I didn't catch your name first.
Oh,
and we
just-
even just like those little quick things, like you can shorten them down, put them in quick videos.
Of course. Yeah.
We would.
Well, this is
our
exactly
team
why
would
we're trying
love to do that. So you guys did great, and we'll put it on video for you.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. I'll get ours back too.
Okay.
Should he go through both of them?
Yeah.
You want to go through that?
Yeah. Go through me.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
We'll retell you.
Perfect. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, thank you very much, everybody. I know we didn't hear from one person. I hope you're all right with that. Yeah, I kind of thought you might be all right with that.
You got us all engaged.
Yeah, you guys are great. The exact information that we wanted to hear, so thanks very much. Again, we record this so that we can share it to the rest of our staff because unfortunately not a lot can make it. So hopefully that they'll watch it. So thanks very much, everybody, for spending your time with us.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks.